Today we explore Apple, who is a multinational technology company that specializes in consumer electronics, software, and online services.
They're well known for their products, which consist of the iPhone, iPad, MacBook, AirPods, and Apple Watch. Apple's value proposition arises from the high-performing and quality products that enables users to have a stress-free and enjoyable experience. For example, they provide an easy-to-use interface and allow users to migrate data easily to new product lines. Apple also provides their customers with premium and high-end products in which these products are fully integrated with one another. For instance, the iPhone and Apple's AirPods. In order to maintain their dominance within the industry, Apple always demands high-quality products from its suppliers whilst also aiming to minimize costs. Their products are manufactured by Foxconn, who is the world's biggest electronic contract manufacturer and has been Apple's oldest and largest supplier in the iPhone assembly. Through their products, Apple strives for innovation and consumer-centric devices in order to ensure that their products and services create customer satisfaction, loyalty, and advocacy. Overall, Apple generates revenue through their product sales, subscription fees, and extended warranty fees as they aim to target a mass market. There's several ways in which their products can be obtained, which can be online or through brick and mortar stores such as Apple themselves, Optus, and JB Hi-Fi to name a few. Stores such as Optus and JB Hi-Fi will be provided products that Apple distribute and act as authorized sellers. Interestingly enough, 50% of Apple's revenue is generated through the iPhones, which are annually released.
The target market segmentation for Apple resides on a wide variety of clients, typically due to the pricing strategies utilized. Individuals from the middle and upper class echelons of society, who are categorically high earning, are targeted due to the direct affordability of Apple products for them. However, lower income earners would see Apple products as too expensive and may choose to invest in alternative brands and devices. Functionality-wise, Apple products are generally orientated towards individuals between the ages of 18 and 55. This is both due to the demographics' interest in technology, as well as the professional utilizations for their products, and again, disposable income allowing them to purchase the devices. The most common behavioral characteristics of Apple customers are the hardcore loyalists, who have continually purchased products and services provided. This is down to the reputation, reliability, and usability of the iOS interface, which has always been consistent and coherent with users' wants and needs. 54% of Apple users buy nothing but Apple products. Another behavioral characteristic consistent with Apple customers are switchers, which are those determined to find alternative tech producers opposing their currently used devices of choice. Customers are also described to be determined and ambitious personality traits who are career-orientated and lead an active social life.
Porter's Five Forces theory is a business model that identifies the strengths and weaknesses as well as the level of competition within an industry. The first model is about substitute products. Substitute products are a threat to the organization as they create competition within the market. Examples of substitute products for Apple would be landline telephones and other branded phones. Compared to Apple, substitute products have limited capabilities due to the power and competitive advantage of Apple. The second model is about suppliers. Suppliers can have an impact on the cost of inputs and outputs for companies. Apple has a wide range of suppliers and can choose whoever they want. Suppliers would not want to lose Apple due to their brand position and market dominance, which allows Apple to have more bargaining power over suppliers.
On with Porter's theory, the third force is the threat of new entrants. Now, new entrants into a market can affect the business's power and dominance within its respective industry. If a new entrant is able to be an effective competitor and have less costs, then established companies and their position could be significantly weakened. However, in the case of the tech industry, any new entrant will struggle due to two factors, one being extremely high cost of establishing the company, and the second would be the additional high cost of establishing brand name recognition against Apple, Amazon, Google, etc. On to the fourth force of rivalry amongst existing competitors. Now, this refers to the number of competitors and their ability to undercut a company. The larger number of competitors within an industry, along with the equivalent product and services they offer, the lesser the power of a company. Now, if competition is low, companies have greater power to charge high prices, which in turn leads to greater profits. Now, with Apple, their main competitors have been Amazon and Google. However, Apple over the various years have been able to sustain a competitive advantage as a result of its ability to adapt to ever-changing customer needs and wants. The last part of Porter's theory would be bargaining power of buyers. Now, buyers have a significant level of power as they have the ability to drive prices lower. Normally, the power and size of client bases for companies can determine prices and deals that companies will often set for certain products. Obviously, organizations that have a smaller, more powerful client base will result in customers having more ability to negotiate for lower prices. However, on the other hand, companies who have independent customers will obviously have more power in charging higher prices. Now, in terms of bargaining power in an internal level for customers for Apple, it's pretty weak as it doesn't affect Apple that much if they lose a few customers. However, as a collective power, it would really impact Apple as losing various consumers to its competitors will obviously damage its market share and general profits of Apple.
Apple possesses an array of strengths when it comes to the digital world. Apple's marketing capabilities are highlighted through the corporation's three-point marketing philosophy, which consists of empathy, focus, and impute. Empathy is portrayed through Apple's advertisements, which specifically target the emotions of consumers through the creation of relatable marketing campaigns. Focus can be seen through the elimination of tasks which lack importance and narrowing down to things which make a key difference. Moreover, impute refers to the presentation of slick Apple products, which catch the eye of consumers at first glance. These three ingredients have stuck with Apple over the last 35 years. Apple's total quality management strategy allows for the company to swiftly solve issues. The process ensures that employees are held to a high standard of work. Apple prides itself on providing a high quality product which is sold at a high price. The company sees itself as a premium brand which only sells top of the range products. Innovation is established through the brand's Think Different slogan, which derives Apple as a company that is unlike any other of its competitors. Apple considers innovation to be critical, as technology is evolving constantly in the modern era. Therefore, the Apple brand possesses strength across the board and can be seen as a very well-rounded competitor in the digital market.
The existing threats to Apple begin with their major supplier Foxconn's mistreatment of employees, especially prevalent within the poor labor practices of their factories. The extreme severity and nature of employee treatment is highlighted within an article from The Guardian, where a Foxconn employee describes a high-pressure working environment, where exploitation is routine and where depression and suicide have become normalized. These existing issues within Foxconn have created severe implications for Apple, as they are publicly linked to the supplier. This has ultimately created another issue for Apple, as negative publicity has placed a burden on the company. Apple's failure to make a statement or a change in regards to Foxconn's actions led to extreme media and consumer scrutiny. In addition to this, a BBC article describes that Apple responded to the issue through denying claims of poor working conditions. This response sparked even more outrage from the public and proved to be extremely damaging to the company's brand representation by creating potential new problems. The boycott Apple trend became popular immediately after Apple's inadequate response in regards to their relationship to Foxconn. Consumers began to end their ties to Apple products in protest of employee conditions. According to The Guardian, this was sparked in 2012 due to the New York Times exposing the abuses within the Chinese factories. Although this call to action occurred 10 years ago, Apple's lack of response and effective actions could potentially re-spark this trend, especially throughout social media platforms. Hence, it is crucial that Apple act upon these existing and potential threats to prevent irreversible brand damage.
Any working environment where depression and suicide is normalised needs radical change. First of all, providing safer and more reasonable working conditions would be a great place to start. However, that is easier said than done. Foxconn in the past has attempted to address these issues by supposedly making their factories safer and increasing employee pay to improve morale. However, none of these attempts have ever really cleared the allegations. The main priority should be that the employees are assured of their safety, rather than questioning it. In response to the negative publicity and the Boycott Apple campaign, radical change is most certainly needed in the industrial realm of the business. The Foxconn factories need revolutionary upgrades in order to ensure irreversible brand damage doesn't occur. Significant investments in Grade 3 hazmat gloves was a suggested item to ensure the Foxconn factory workers are protected against these noxious chemicals that could potentially cause very serious consequences to their health. Furthermore, a larger pool of employees is required to dissolve the current issue of a high-pressure working environment, as a larger amount of workers will ensure adequate breaks and time allocation between shifts to avoid burning out.